Hey everybody, it's me, Resonator Design here, and I thought I'd take, as I said in my other video, I might as well take some time off from doing angry video rants and things of that nature, dealing with the politics, because I'm just sick and tired with politics. So I thought I'd do some game reviews. I'll do some PS2 games. I'll do some Xbox 360 games. I'll do some other games, but the first game I'm gonna do is Dot Hack GU Redemption or Rebirth. It's the first series in the new Dot Hack GU series. I have all three games. I have Rebirth, Reminisce, and Redemption. I have all three games. I only have one of the original series. And if you don't know, the GU or the Dot Hack series is a long story series. It spans anime and games. There's the first original set of video games. There's Sign, the video game, the first set, and then Twilight Bracelet, Roots, and a lot of non-canon stuff in between. Then GU game, the GU games, and now there's Twilight Nights, like Dot Hack Link Twilight Nights, which follows Tokyo, and I'll get into that. I'll do information about those two. But first I'm gonna do GU Rebirth, which is the first game of the new series. And now, GU Rebirth, if you're used to the first set of games, is completely different and is completely... It's not hard to get into, but it's just so different. And they did the battle system good, but they didn't... I like the other system better, to be honest, than the other game. In the other set of games. I liked the one from there where you could walk around and attack, and you didn't have to do those. See, the games are too different because GU is based on a game. It's based on a game that is the world, but it was also combined with some other game that they're gonna make, and that's why it's so completely different. And there's always PKing is a bigger problem in this game than it was in the last game. And the fighting system's better and worse in the new game than it was, but there's things like the Rengeki and pressing the R1 on the PS2 controller, and it lets you do an attack so that way you instantly hit and stuff. And that stuff's good, but they didn't balance it enough with just being able to walk around freely around the level like they did back in the other games. You basically were in a fence. You didn't have any choice. You either ran or fight and die, or you defeat them. And that's sort of, they should have left the fence thing away, because I mean the other games were good because you could, if you ran into enemies, you could just book it and not have to waste any other. You wouldn't have to waste items that would make you disappear, so that way you could run away. And that's basically what GU does. But there's also, GU has a the story is very good in GU. It's about Haseo, who's linked to Sora from Dot Hack Sign, who got the story's sort of convoluted, but Haseo's linked to Sora, who's in the original Dot Hack Sign, and he showed up in Dot Hack, the other set of games, and now he's coming up in this game, and he lost his memory, so he doesn't know who he was. Now he was a noob in the game, and it's sort of weird. I don't know all the specifics, because I'm a fan of Dot Hack. I'm just not that big of a fan. But, yeah. And there's other things. The story's really good. Some characters you can see where they came from, like Endurance. You can see him coming from Elk, and a little bit from Tsukasa. There's always a character who's in love with a cat character. And Endurance, I think, is related to Elk, because he has a really obsession with a cat named Mia, and that's what Elk had in the original game. And it is what it is. It's a good game, and it's a good game series, but it's not that. It's good. It's got its good points and its bad points and all that stuff, but overall, it's a good game. But you start off in this one form that you get, and then you get data drained, and then that's when GU starts, or that's when Root starts, and you sort of have to go through Roots. I never really went through the whole series of Roots, but you can get the gist of it from the game, but it's better if you watch Roots, because then there's a lot of story points that you get in GU that don't really show up anywhere else except in Roots, and it's sort of, you have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it's sort of pissed off because the game should really start after the series, not sort of in betweenish in the first game. But otherwise it's good. Ovan, you think he's good, but you find out he's not in the later games. And for people who haven't played the games or not a big fan of games, it's really accessible to people who aren't really fond of JRPGs and things like that. They could have done some other stuff better, like I like the one thing with Salvador Aihara and his show, and how it was on the same disc, you just had to read it, and it got unlocked as you went through the game, and it was sort of integral to the story of the game. It wasn't just some side disc that you pop in like the original games. It was integral to the story because it had information from there. It's a good series. It's a good game, Redemption, and the GU series is a good set of games for Dot Hack. But as I said, there's some flaw points and some good points, and as they go on, they get better and better. But sometimes they just miss some of the flaws that they keep missing, and otherwise it's a good series. If you want to check it out, you can probably find it Amazon, or you can probably rent it from somewhere like GameFly or somewhere like that. If anybody actually has a PS2, because many people don't have PS2s anymore because they usually have a PS3, Xbox 360, or a Wii. I have both. I haven't been playing my PS2 because I got my Xbox 360. I've been playing that, playing Halo and Madden, and I'll review those games. And I know it's late, but there's all this new shit coming out, and I can review that. But yeah, if you're really not into JRPGs, this is maybe a good game to start it out. But you may be a little bit pissed off with the story because it's really convoluted. If you don't really understand the story that much, and I'm not going to go into the story details, but out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 9, maybe an 8.5. Good, but it could be better, and I hope they do make another series, but I hope they put it on the Xbox 360, not the PS3, because the PS3 is really expensive, or they just make it on the PS2. And there's also Dot Hack GU Trilogy, which is a movie combining all of the games, and there's non-canon stuff in there, and for people who don't know, non-canon means it doesn't involve the story, just like I say that. But I'll review GU Volume 2, Reminisce, and then Volume 3, Redemption, and I'll do a couple other PS2 games. As I said, I'll do Halo 3, all the new stuff, like the Recon trailer, Keep It Clean trailer, new ranking system, and all that good stuff. But for now, Resonator's End, Off Like a Prom Dress. Subscribe, comment, tell me what you think of the GU games if you played them, the Dot Hack games in general. But as I said, I'm Off Like a Prom Dress. There's no inky blackness for me to fall back into, but I'll be back. Trust me on that. Goodbye, people, and have a safe journey home. That's weird, random, but I don't care.